Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents G.I. Joe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the G.I. Joe Classified Series number 102, Dreadnought Ripper. Let's get into it! Let's start our search for some grape soda with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top flap, 4 and up, warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. G.I. Joe Classified Series, and the G.I. Joe and stripes are embossed. Nice practical photography of the figure using some of the accessories. And then here's what I'm guessing is a digital render of said accessories. Nice artwork there. G.I. Joe Classified Series. Again, the G.I. Joe and the stripes are embossed, and the embossing goes around to this side as well. Cobra Dreadnought Ripper. Cobra. Hasbro print. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, that nice artwork of Ripper. Again, G.I. Joe Classified Series number 102. And then on this side, partial Cobra symbol. And then that same artwork, number 102. And here is the QR code if you want to scan that. And moving right along, he's affiliated with Cobra. There's his skill set, and again, embossed stripes coming around from the front. On the back side, we have number 102, partial Cobra logo, Cobra Dreadnought Ripper. He stands 6.5 inches or 165 millimeters tall. Nice digital render of the figure and his accessories, and then some close-up digital renders of some of his features. And again, here's his skill set. Warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any language pie hole that don't belong there. Don't give it to babies. Attention, especially don't stick it in your French pie hole. Parents, GIJoe.com, small legalese, made in China print, that thing, and Hasbro print. That, my friends, does it for a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers. Take a look at some of the smaller accessories. And here we have his knife. It's handled with like knuckles on it, so cutting and punching and hitting stuff, you can do all that kind of stuff. Looks like it's molded in the color of the handle and a nice, maybe gunmetal paint app for the blade. And you notice mine is a little warped, but that's because it has been in the sheath on the figure. And here we have his sidearm. And it has almost like a bayonet on it, so he's got it where he can saw and he can cut a little bit and maybe stab things. And then it's also ready to fire, it looks like. And I'm not sure what kind of gun this might be. It appears it may be some type of single shot. But it does have nice molded details and that nice silvery paint app for the blade. So that was kind of cool looking. Then one of my least favorite Dreadnought accessories, the sunglasses. These fit a little bit better on Ripper than buzzers do, so just be aware of that. So nice molded detail, nice little paint app for the lenses. They could have went the extra 2 cent and slapped a little paint on the inside too. but they couldn't. So here we have his rifle, and again it's got like this, I'm gonna call it a can opener blade on it because he uses it to open things up sometimes. And so nice molded details. It looks kind of like that general G.I. Joe cartoon gun a little bit, but nice molded details. The magazine is removable and just pokes back in there. So not that nice silver paint app for the can opener, and it's got a little scope on it, and just very nice looking, I think. Then we have his, I'm going to call them the Jaws of Life, because in real life that's kind of what they're called. Or in his case, just the Jaws of Ripping. And looks like most parts are molded in the correct color. These are, you can see it's a little bit swirly twirly in there maybe. Or is that just the details? But it does have little flecks in the plastic. So, and then this might be a paint app. It's kind of dark gunmetal. And unlike Buzzsaw, this handle does raise and lower some to help with posing. It's got a little hose here, an engine exhaust, maybe an air filter right there, like a joystick trigger for it. And then got a little paint app right there and on the back here as well. So very, very cool looking, and they fit together well, and these pieces do move, and they do have a gear system inside, so when you move one, the other one moves in tandem with it, so they stay lined up. So that's cool. Well, let's take a look at the figure himself, and I really have to say I do like the sculpt of the face here and the deco on it. The eyes look, especially this one, looks a little weird, like they didn't get it all in there, and there's almost like a little smiley face in there or something. And then this side is better, and then he's got this teardrop tattoo there, and you know his eyebrows are kind of spaced out a bit. He's wearing, looks like a razor blade for an earring on that side, nothing on this side. Nice little mohawk deal going on there. Necklace is a separate piece, and it does contain, it looks like razor blades on it, and then he's got some nice spikes here with a nice silver color to him. And then he's got this strap on his arm that looks like a nice gold paint app, and it's chipped up a little bit too. And on the back of it is, it's like a leather strap, I guess. So it's molded in this color, and this is the paint app. And he's got a nice little tattoo here up on his upper bicep. And then he's got this spiked wristband on. Nice little paint apps for the spikes. Tampo tattoos on this side, looks like a claw of something trying to rip out, and I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Maybe some kind of Native American shaman mask. And then he's got some nice paint apps here on his shirt, the camouflage print, probably tampos, at least I would guess that it is. And then here the belt buckle, nothing on the holes in the belt. This chain right here, nice paint app. And probably nice paint apps for the belt buckles, maybe. Belt buckles, belt loops. And this is all printed or molded in color, as well as the legs. Might be a paint app here for the knees. And then it looks like the boots, tops, and feet are molded in color. And then it's got a nice little wristband over on this side. Now, as far as his articulation goes, the hair does get in the way a little bit, and it looks like he's on that, you know, classic G.I. Joe, well, I won't say classic, classified G.I. Joe articulation scheme with a ball joint at the bottom of the neck, and it's a separate piece from the head, and then it's a dumbbell at the top. So he can look up that high, He looks down that far. He's got chicken neck. He's got waggle. He can, with a little bit of difficulty, do the full exorcist. Again, you have to watch that neck. Sometimes they like to drift with the head, even if it's not a whole lot. Butterfly at the shoulders, back that far, forward that far, 360 degrees of rotation, and he can raise his arm up pretty well past 90 degrees. Cut at the upper bicep for a full 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinless elbow. And it looks like you can get that much bend out of it. At least that's what I'm getting out of mine. 360 degrees of rotation on the wrist on an in and out hinge, and up and down hinge on this side. So that's pretty cool. He's got a standard ab hinge and a ball joint at the waist that allows him to do some hula. He can lean left and right, backwards in conjunction. The two articulation points let him lean back that far and forward that far. Also at the waist, a 360 degree rotation. At the hips, pull down hinge, of course, and it lets you give him that much of the splits. Kicks forward, not quite 90 degrees. It's close though. And then backwards, maybe a full step, maybe a step and a half. Cut at the upper thigh for a full 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinless knee. And I know I loosened this guy up. Now he's going to give me problems. A little bit anyway. So you can get about that much bend out of it. And then it looks like the mid shin, you get a boot cut, or the lower mid shin really. So boot cut for another 360 degrees of rotation. Ankle tilts down that far, tilts up slightly, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now as far as accessory storage, the knife. Fits right up in the sheath and it stays on there pretty well. The pistol, it fits right into the holster. And you can see the knife bit comes out of the end there just a little bit. If he's not using his can opener gun, on his back there's a little square post right there, and it fits right through the trigger guard, and so the rifle stays on there. Putting stuff through the trigger guard doesn't seem like the wisest way to store weapons, to me at least. And then his glasses just go right on, and sometimes they stay good and sometimes they don't. So right now they're staying pretty good, so that's cool. And then of course his ripper machine, you just put in his hands. That, my friends, does it for a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Dreadnought Ripper with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Dreadnought Buzzer and the G.I. Joe Classified Series Zartan. Here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Dreadnought Ripper with the Valaverse Action Force Swarm Trooper with Swarm Gear and the Valaverse Action Force Scarab. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Dreadnought Ripper, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified Series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Series Dreadnought Ripper, I have to say, I think this figure was really, really well done. I like the sculpt. I like the deco. For the most part, I like the accessories. And that's really where I have to ding this figure, is in the accessory department. And the accessory that I have to ding is the sunglasses, because although they do stay on his head better than Buzzer, I think the consumer would have been better served with an alternate head, one with sunglasses, one without, and I think that would have been a much, much better way to go with these figures. And you know, I mentioned Buzzer by name, but you know, Sergeant Slaughter, his tend to stay on a little bit better once you get them on in the right position, and Ripper's isn't as bad to fall off as Buzzer's is. Buzzer's is kind of bad for it, but I took some heat to it and kind of molded it to its head a little bit, so maybe that'll keep me from losing them. I really hope so. But you know, if you're a fan of the Dreadnoks or just a real American hero and you like the Classified series, this is definitely a pickup. I like the fact that his Jaws of Life have gears on the inside so that each side opens up equally. I think that's a really important feature for that particular accessory. Some of you may disagree, I don't know. If you do, that's fine. We can all disagree sometimes. But, you know, even like some of the smaller accessories, the armband and the necklace with the razor blades on it is just, I think it's neat little details. And, you know, not necessarily, you know, stuff we may not have necessarily noticed on those original 3 3/4 figures, that in this larger scale, you know, we get a little bit better detail, so we notice more things. But for me, you know, it doesn't, I don't think they could do better with a retro carded release of Ripper. I think this one checks all the boxes. I think it's great from the sculpt to the deco to the tampos. And again, the only thing that I really ding this guy on is the sunglasses not wanting to stay on properly. And for Ripper, it's not as big a deal as it is with, say, Buzzer. But I do, you know, if you like Dreadnoks and Cobra and Classified and Real American Hero, this guy's definitely a pickup. I think they did a phenomenal job on this one. And again, I can only speak for myself. Again, your mileage may vary, and that's okay. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you're interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just to help the channel grow. Or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's our wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.